But anyway, the petition is prepared. May I request Gonzalo
Aray.
Yes, sir.
help co-host this?
Andito ng mga eksperto.
Yeah.
Toti, ayan.
Atty. Mel, can you...
Aray. Lagay ito dito yun. Yun na lang, ano, outline.
Ngayon ba yan?
Well.
Dapat ngayon?
Hindi, parang hindi mo sa
Sarado ata yung ano eh, Supreme Court eh.
Karambola. Mga dito, karambola. Ay, board na yung board. 71. Board na
2019 Media Forum will join us later. It's on the way. No, the earthquake did not hamper his coming here, but he will be around in due time. Lakay Gonzalo is
Morning,
joining us. Okay, this development has far-ranging consequences if the institutions will truly support an honest and clean election. Democracy requires an honest and clean election. This means that the votes have to be counted properly, no cheating, and the people's choice will the ones be reflected in the result of the election. This is how important the advocacy and concrete actions being taken by mata sa balota. We know that leaders make the difference in any organization, whether government or private. So the quality of leaders that will come out of this election is very crucial to our country's development. And last week, the advocates for clean and honest election already filed a petition with the Commission on Election. Atty. Magdamo, a former COMELEC lawyer and an advocate, a premier advocate for honest and clean election, has also prepared a petition that should have been filed this morning with the Supreme Court. Unfortunately, because of the earthquake and offices have been closed for inspection to avoid any injury to anyone that will go inside these buildings. The petition was not filed this morning. We still have Dr. Nelson Celis, former president of the Philippine Computer Society, a lecturer on data privacy, an IT expert, a former executive vice president of the Pamantasan ng Lungsod ng Manila, lecturer at the De La Salle University and other schools. Dr. Nelson Celis will give his insights also with regard to the content of the petition that will be filed with the Supreme Court tomorrow, assuming that offices are already open tomorrow. So let us welcome Atty. Mel Magdamo and Dr. Nelson Celis and give them a big round of applause. So Atty. Mel, give us an update on this petition that you filed with the COMELEC and a reaction from the COMELEC, and why did you decide to already move to file a petition with the Supreme Court?
The COMELEC, the only reaction that I've read from the COMELEC is somewhat vague in general. According to spokesperson James Jimenez, what we did here is jumping the gun and trying to analyze what he meant by that. Maybe he said it's premature or whatever he may be thinking, but I would counter-argue that we are not premature. We are not underripe in filing the petition because this has been filed way back in the year 2015, November 27 to be exact. It has been filed under previous chairmen of the COMELEC, Chairman Sixto Brillantes, Chairman Andres Bautista, and now Chairman Abbas. The more filings we did in the past, the worse it gets. Because before from 1985 up to 2013, from 1985 during the time of, well, Marcos was the president at the time, but there was already a Congress, and I believe you were a senator, you were a congressman at the time? Or?
No, I was a senator in the Parliament of the Street.
The 1985 Omnibus Election Code, in Section 179, allows the taking of photographs of the counting process, of the proceedings and incidents that's exact wording in the law. You can take photographs. 1988, when Senator was already in the Senate, there was an electoral reforms law allowing the watchers full access, not just take photographs in some corner, but full access. And then in 1991, again, it's no longer the monopoly of watchers, but members of the public, that's the exact wording, can take pictures. Which, when you say members of the public, it practically means everyone. And the only limitation is the space. For as long as the polling place can accommodate the public conveniently.
So, Atty. Mel, the COMELEC has been banning the taking of photos inside the election precinct.
Inside and outside.
Inside and outside. It is the law says it can be done.
Yes, the law says it can be done.
It is allowed, but the COMELEC has banned.
Yes, the COMELEC has banned.
And now your petition before the COMELEC, there's a prayer for the COMELEC to implement the law.
The law,
allowing the taking of photographs.
Yes.
Inside and outside the election precinct.
Yes.
Okay. And you said you have been asking for the implementation of the law since 2015.
Yes.
So there is nothing premature with your petition. You're just asking the COMELEC to implement this law, the law, which is currently in place, and for this to be implemented this May 13 election.
Yes.
Okay. Aside from this, taking of photographs, which is allowed by law, which will enable the voters to document the election process, including taking a photo of the ballot.
Yes.
It can be done.
It can be done in the United States.
But here,
in the Philippines, it's still an open question.
so what can be photographed?
The exact wording is the entire proceedings and incidents. In the case of overseas Filipino workers or overseas absentee voting, since they are not the ones who insert the ballot into the machine, I believe the voters themselves can take picture of the ballot.
Yeah, okay. But here in the Philippines, we'll tackle that outside, no? That the OFWs cannot, they don't see how their ballot is going to be counted, no? I mean, it's sent by mail. Is it sent by mail?
In some places it's sent by mail, in others
They can vote in a precinct,
yes,
organized for the purpose.
yes.
All right. So let us be specific. The ballot cannot be photographed under the law. Is that absolutely correct, or it's still unclear?
There is no prohibition.
There is no prohibition
It's not a crime to take picture of the ballot.
of the ballot, of your own
Of
ballot.
your own ballot, it's not a crime.
Okay. If it is not a crime, it is not prohibited. Okay. Now, what is the reason why COMELEC continues to insist that photographing the ballot should not be allowed?
As I say, maybe the reason is because
They are afraid that this can be used for vote buying purposes. This can be used as evidence. Oh, you pay me because I voted for your candidates. Isn't that what the COMELEC is saying?
yes, that's what the COMELEC is saying. The COMELEC is presuming you guilty before you prove your innocence.
Okay. Of course, during manual voting, it's called lanzadera. Di ba? A ballot is snatched out of the precinct. It is not filled up, and then there's another ballot. Okay, the voter will fill up the ballot, and then that's the ballot that it will put into the ballot box. Yan ang lanzadera. So the COMELEC is afraid that the voters will use this photograph of his ballot or her ballot and sell it to the vote buyers. So, isn't that a good argument by the COMELEC to ban the photographing of the ballot?
It is not a good argument because if that were true, then the simple solution to that is to simply shuffle the ballots.
No. But there is evidence. The voter says, "Oh, I photographed my ballot. These are the people that I voted for. I wrote their names. This is what you want me to write into the ballot." And so, you pay me now. You said you'll pay me 500 or 1,000 if I voted for your candidates. Oh.
That is the argument of the COMELEC.
Yes.
But so easy to solve that problem if that were the
It cannot be solved by just shopping because that's another evidence. Already evidence. Maybe you're referring to the BBPAC, the voters verified paper audit trail, the receipt. The receipt. You want to photograph the receipt, but it can still be in the BBPAC. Do the names of the candidates or the candidates of the voter, will they appear in the BBPAC?
The candidates, yes, they will appear in the BBPAC.
The ones that you voted for.
Yes,
So it's the same. It's the same as the ballot.
should be.
It should be. So COMELEC does not like the idea of a voter taking picture of the BBPAC. Okay? Now, why do you want the BBPAC? Why do you want the voter to be allowed to take a photo of the voter's verified paper audit trail? What is the logic behind that petition?
The logic is to be able to count the totality of all VVPATs in a particular precinct, not a particular VVPAT, but to audit, because VVPAT, the letter A in VVPAT is audit.
Yes.
It's to allow the voter to audit the totality of all receivables in one box.
The number of receipts in the ballot box.
Yes, and how much vote is creditable to a particular candidate. Because in COMELEC, in the law, there is a random manual audit. It costs very expensive. They have to pay so much. And the voters can do that themselves. You don't have to pay the voters a single centavo. You spare the government from expenses. It's like the random manual audit. And it can be done nationwide. Because the law requires random manual audit. And COMELEC never had a random manual audit ever since Smartmatic became the provider. So at least the voters can take care of the manual audit instead of letting Smartmatic do it.
Okay, this is a, will you consider this a novelty, taking photo of the BBPAT, voters verified paper audit trail? If there are 1,000 voters, assuming all of them voted in that precinct, because 1,000 is the number of voters per clustered precinct. 1,000, maximum of 1,000. Assuming all the 1,000 voted. Okay? What is the benefit of being able to know the number of receipts in the ballot box? What is the benefit?
So that anyone can audit it, because those pictures can be posted online in the internet, and anybody in the whole world can audit, can know the real tally of the votes. That anybody, any netizen in the whole world can be a canvasser.
So you want to see 1,000 receipts, 1,000 in effect 1,000 ballots. In effect, you will see how the voters voted in that precinct. Is that the objective?
Yes, not only how the voters voted, but the count. What is the count?
Okay. We say 1,000 voted. That's the number. That's the count of the BBPAT, which represents ballots in effect.
Yes.
Right? 1,000. Okay. What is the? Is it your objective to really see how the 1,000 voters in a particular precinct voted, so you can make your own tally if you're interested, because it can be posted online. So an advocate or a watchdog can now identify a precinct. We will see whether this precinct really, the result of the counting by the machine is truly reflective of the content of the BBPAT present in the ballot, representing the ballots in the ballot box.
Yes, that's the objective.
That's the objective.
It has been done in New Hampshire and Indiana, in the United States, and there has never been no problem.
Okay, but the COMELEC is afraid that the picture is to be used as evidence or a condition. If it is shown to the vote buyer, oh, I already voted for your candidate, give me my 1,000 pesos. What is your argument against that?
After shuffling, the vote buyer has no assurance that that is indeed the vote of a particular voter.
But the photograph will be the evidence that I voted for the candidate of the vote buyer.
Pwede ba pangampanya?
Ha?
Pwede ba pangampanya? Post mo yung...
I mean, this is what the COMELEC is, I think, saying. We want to prevent vote buying. Okay? So the shuffling will not affect the intention of the vote buyer. The shuffling is different, but the picture in the cell phone. Oh, this is my ballot, or this is my BBPAT. I took picture of the BBPAT. This is what I inserted into the. This is the replica, or this represents the ballot that I inserted into the ballot box. The receipt of that ballot is this. Is here.
Senator, Senator, sa mga reports na natatanggap natin ngayon, from abroad, sa Facebook, ang daming picture ng mga photo nila. Sa Japan, sa Amerika, at ipinapagod natin sa atin. Ano yun? That's case ba yun? Paano? Pwede ba test case yun?
Yeah,
Kaso natin.
pwede siguro gawin test case yun. Kasi wala sa batas natin na nagpapabawal doon.
So you're trying to, you're saying, if the law does not prohibit it, then the COMELEC has no business of prohibiting it.
In fact, the petition is even bending backwards. The proposal is to take the pictures after close of polls, after 5 o'clock. By that time, it's already impossible to trace a particular VVPAT or particular voter.
So the watchdog, if they have one representative per election precinct, how many election precinct? 80,000 election precincts? 82,000 election, about 82,000 election precincts all over the country. Okay? Now, if a watchdog organization can have one per election precinct and is able to rally everybody, every voter, take a picture of your BBPAT. So, we will see whether the result is reflective of the voting that happened in that election precinct. Is it possible to do that?
Hopefully. But we're just aiming for something because right now,
Example.
if we can organize 80 plus, 90 plus, why not?
Okay, the SWS and Pulse Asia also do some random sampling, no? It's not a survey of the entire voting population. So you intend to do random sampling?
Yes, random, truly random sampling. That's what's being done by COMELEC in the random manual audit. It's selected. They select the precincts months before election.
Okay, digital signatures. Digital signatures. Again, I think the members of the media should be acquainted closely with this digital signatures. In manual election, you will see in the election return, below the election return, the signatures of the members of the Board of Election Inspectors. Okay? Manual. In manual, you see a wet, it's called wet signature. Okay? The actual handwriting of the signature of the members of the Board of Election Inspectors. Okay? In electronic, in automated election system, the election, there is also an election return, but there is no wet signature, there is no handwritten signature, but there is an equivalent of a handwriting, handwritten signature. There is an equivalent. It is called a digital signature. Now, what is the significance? What is the significance, Dr. Celis? We have to continue educating ourselves with this automated election system. I went through most of the elections I participated in were all manual. But in 2010, I participated in an automated election system, which was very alien to me. Even if I was the organizer of the Operasyon Laban sa Mandaraya, which was under a manual election system, I was caught flat-footed, and I was clueless, practically clueless about how cheating can be done through an automated election system. Now, what is the significance, again, for enlightenment purposes, what is the significance of the digital signature appearing on the election return and on the municipal canvas, city canvas, or provincial canvas, and even in the national canvas, if any is required? Dr. Celis.
Yeah, thank you very much, Senator Lina, for that concern and question. But before anything else, with regard to taking of the pictures, in fact, yes, in America, not only in America, but also in the recent overseas absentee voting, there were so many irregularities wherein you have the voter verified paper audit trail, and when the voter check the what he voted, or she voted, it's not. It's not actually what he or she voted. So there is irregularity in the overseas absentee voting.
But when can the discovery be made? And what is the basis for saying that the candidates that a particular voter write in the ballot?
Yeah.
No? How can he determine that his preference was not the one reflected in the result?
Right. So
Because it's individual ballot.
yeah. So when a voter voted his or her candidates in the ballot, then
Yes.
see it in the VC,
Machine.
the machine. After that, it generates a BBPAT.
Yes.
Or voter's receipt.
Yes.
So it is a way of verifying whether what he placed or he shaded or she shaded in the ballot is the same as the
But the
BBPAT.
result of the election is only at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, when the voting machine, will now count will make a complete count. It's being counted already, but the result is not yet out.
That is, this time,
Yeah.
when he or she fed the ballot, he or she can already see the BBPAT.
Yeah, the BBPAT, but not the ballot.
No, but he or
But-
she can verify.
Yeah, but how it was counted? How is it?
That's why there are
You put the ballot into the voting machine.
Yes.
Then the receipt, like ATM.
Right.
ATM.
It's the same as the
Okay.
ATM.
Yeah, the ATM.
It's the same.
Okay. Now,
So
how
when you
will
withdraw, let's say 5,000,
Yeah.
then it should be reflected that you withdraw 5,000 pesos. And it should be debited from the balance.
Yeah, but
So
actually,
mo yun, 5,000 and then 5,000. Pero dun sa lumalabas sa overseas absentee voting, kung tatlo yung binoto, senador, ay ba lumalabas dun? 10, something like that. So, bakit gano'n? Ano? Tatlo na yung binoto ko dun sa balota, ay lumalabas din sa aking BBPAT.
yeah, but it's in the BBPAT.
Yes.
It's
So that's already an irregularity. That means, hindi tama yung binilang, no? Makina.
Tatlo naging 10.
Tatlo, bakit naging 10?
yeah, but you're going to be given a BBPAT.
Yeah, and then you will put that in the ballot, BBPAT box. Kasi
Yeah.
dalawa yun. Pag pasok mo ng balota, ika-count yun ng makina, papagsak yun sa ballot box. And then meron din BBPAT na pa. Lalabas yun sa makina. No? Tapos siyempre, bago malagay yun sa BBPAT box, titignan mo muna kung tama yung binoto mo. Tatlo yung binoto ko, tapos 10 yung lumabas.
That's a very clear irregularity. That's the reason why a BBPAT is required to be issued. Okay, that's crude. But the problem is the receipt that that is issued by the voting machine, as compared to the totality of votes counted, is different. That's the bigger problem.
Correct.
That's the bigger problem.
Correct.
That the result of the counting is not reflective of all the votes that were cast by the people in the voting precinct. That is the bigger problem. That's the wholesale problem. That the voting machine is not counting the actual votes being cast by the people, but it's already a program inside the machine that will release a different result. That's the main worry.
That's correct.
Will that problem arise? Is it possible for that scenario to arise?
Nangyari na yan, Senator Lina, magmula pa ng 2010.
Nagbawas.
Noong 2010, natatandaan niyo yung 2010, nagkaroon ng final testing in Celis. Bigyan na lang natin ng example doon sa mga atin. Very specific yung example na yun. Yung boto para kay Binay, 10 balota yun. Yung boto pa kay Binay, at saka doon kay Mercado, napunta kay Henrino. Nangyari yan noong 2010, noong final testing in Celis. Hindi lang nangyari sa Makati, magmula yun, Batanes hanggang Bulok. Kaya ang ginawa ng COMELEC, niretrieve nila yung CF card o yung compact flash cards. So paano gagawin ng COMELEC na ma-retrieve lahat yung CF cards na yun? In 1 week's time, May 3, May 10 yung election. Hindi po pwede mangyari yun. Logistical problem lang yan. That's already a nightmare. Pagpunta dito sa Manila, tetestingin mo pa. Tapos ibabalik mo pa. Hindi mangyayari. Ay nangyari sa overseas absentee voting. Katulad yun ng 2010.
Kaya nga daw,
Yeah.
pinukasyon pa rin yung integridad ng mga makina na yan.
Ay naku, talagang malaking problema yan. Malaking problema yan. Hanggang ngayon. 2010, 2013, 2016. Hanggang ngayon, 2019, nangyayari yan.
Well, each election has its own peculiarities, no?
Yes.
But that's okay. Assuming that kind of crude, I will label it as a crude manipulation. Assuming that that is no longer an issue, no more changing of the flash cards. Okay. So let's go back to the BBPAT because we are now discussing the digital signature and the photographing. That is the issue at hand, no? That you take a picture of the BBPAT. Okay, fine. These are my the receipt reflected the truth. I voted for these 12 candidates. Oh, the receipt said I have my receipt states or shows that the 12 candidates that I voted for were the ones counted. Okay, but at the end of the day, even if you assuming you're able to open, the trail, and the trail says these are the candidates that were truly voted upon, but the results of the voting is different from the trail. Is it possible? Is it possible? Because we do not see how the voting is being done by the machine. Did you follow? So even if we have the digital signature per election return, but the election return does not reflect the actual voting, what's the use of a digital signature? Is it possible? I mean, I'm not an IT expert. Is it possible that it has been there was an intervention? Because you said last time that there is a gap. There is a gap between the transmission of the election return to the municipal canvas. Sometimes 5 minutes, 10 minutes, an hour, 24 hours. From the voting machine to the municipal canvas or to the city canvas. Okay? Now, what could happen? What can happen during the time when there is that gap? Because it's an election return, I do not know how it operates. When the voting machine shoots or sends the information to the municipal or city canvas or provincial canvas for that matter, what are the possibilities during that when there is a gap? Because sending the information is just like, as far as I know, it's just like texting. You text, you send, you put your message, the machine makes the message. Okay? This is the result from this voting machine. This is the result. This is the message. And you send it. You push a button, it sends. I do not know how it is done. But there is a gap. Instead of simultaneous real time, there is a gap of 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 10 hours, 24 hours. What are the possibilities that the message, first, that the message being sent by the voting machine, as far as election return result is concerned, is not the same as the one that was really counted as the one that was really voted upon. Okay?
You're saying there's a manual intervention?
Well, that's why I'm asking. I'm asking because we do not see what's happening inside the voting machine. Unlike in manual counting, when all the ballot is being counted, and there are watchers, oy, mali yung binasa mo, di ba? Inspector, mali yung binasa mo. Oy, mali ang paglagay mo dyan. Hindi mo nilagay yung guhit dyan. You did not post the vote.
May nakatago sa loob ng makina?
Yan sa manual yon, sa manual. You can easily see. Visually you can see. Okay?
Isa-isa natin,
Oh,
Senator.
sige.
Okay. So, yung digital signature at saka yung sinasabi ni Senator Lina, yung gap, paano ba nagkaroon ng digital signature? Okay, kung natatandaan natin yung 2004, supposedly dapat automated election yun. Nalo si President GMA. At that time, automated counting machines ang ginagamit natin. Supposedly. So there were 1,991 automated counting machines na supposedly this is designed para sa mga counting centers. Pero pareho din ang procedures na napapasok mo pa rin yung balota, machine, pareho. Pero during that time, yung transmission ng 1,991 machines o automated counting machine doon sa national canvassing, mula doon sa presinto, papuntang munisipyo, probinsya, hanggang national canvassing, hindi kayo maniniwala. Meron mong digital signature show. It has a digital signature for each DEI, for each Board of Canvasser. Ano yung naging basis ng Commission of Elections in implementing digital signatures at the time? Yung provider po nung automated counting machines, gumamit po sila ng VeriSign technology ng EPLDT o My Secure Sign. Maniwala kayo sa hindi, nagkaroon ng training ang Commission of Elections on how to implement digital signatures. Ano naging basis ng Commission on Elections in implementing that? Supposedly, dapat 2004 yung digital signatures. Noong 2004, tinesting ng 2003 yan. Ang sabi ng Commission on Elections, together with the supplier, ang sinasabi nila, ay ito naman nasa batas. Sa Republic Act 8792, which is the e-commerce law. This was enacted in year 2000. So sinasabi ng Commission on Elections, tamang-tama ito, implement natin itong automated counting machine, 1,991 yan. Ititry natin yung mga BEIs o BOCs, o Board of Canvassers, para matutunan nila paano ba ini-implement ito. So ang nag-provide po nito ay yung EPLDT. It is a subsidiary of PLDT. Yung My Secure Sign is a subsidiary of EPLDT. Yung website po, ginagamit po ng mga bangko yan sa kanilang mga electronic transactions. So, bakit napili ng Commission on Elections na lagyan ng digital signature? Para matulad kung paano ma-secure yung transaction natin sa bangko. Diba? Meron tayong mga ATM, meron tayong internet banking. So, napaka-secure po. Kaya sabi ng Commission on Election, i-adapt natin yung banking system, yung digital signature. Naku po, isang linggo nag-training dyan ng Commission on Election. Kasama po yung ating IT Director at the time, si Mr. Ernie De Rosario. Talagang botong-botong po siya sa digital signature at the time. Ngayon, yan po yung history ng digital signature. Ngayon, nakita natin nung pagdating ng 2006, ay siguro dapat i-change na natin, i-amend na natin yung batas. Ilagay na natin yung digital signature kasi in-implement na ng, supposedly dapat na-implement yun ng 2004 elections. So sabi ng technical working group, muna po doon yung Philippine Computer Society, ay sige, i-amend na natin yung batas. Kasi 1997 pa yun. So, pagdating ng 2006, nagkaroon ng technical working group, sinama po yung digital signature. Yun po yung story niya. Eh ano po ba, aside from the enactment of e-commerce law ng 2000, ano pa ang pinagbabasihan ng digital signature? Kasi right after the enactment of e-commerce law, sabi ng Supreme Court, maglalabas tayo ng ating rules on electronic evidence in relation to the e-commerce law. So, sabi ng Supreme Court, ang electronic signature or digital signature would represent you. Parang yung pumirma ka. Pero iba ho kasi yung digital signature, medyo highly technical ito. Meron itong sa asymmetric, public key, private key. Pero ito parang password.
Dr. Nelson, no? Yung pera, pag pinag-uusapan, talagang dapat secure, no? Na hindi mawala yung pera mo. Di ba? Na hindi ko sa ATM para hindi pwedeng makapag-withdraw ang sino man. Ikaw lang ang pwedeng maka-withdraw. Otherwise, mawala yung pera mo. Pero yung boto ng tao, importante din. Almost on the same level, property niya yun. Right niya yun. Very important, constitutional right na yung boto niya marespeto. Yung bang digital signature, para bang PIN mo yun? PIN.
Tama po yun.
Oh. So yung election return, ang objective nun ay masiguro na yung election return ay talagang galing doon sa presinto na pinapangasiwaan ng Board of Election Inspector. Board of Canvassers. Ganun po ba kahalaga yun?
Ganun po yung kahalaga.
Eh kung wala po yung PIN na yun, na magpapatunay na ito'y galing sa Board of Election Inspector at saka Board of Canvassers, masasabi ba natin na peke yung election return na yun or canvass?
Merong irregularity.
Oh, may irregularity. But because, ano bang sinasabi ng batas? Pwede ka ba makapagproklama ng kandidato na hindi nakabatay sa dokumento na mayroong PIN or digital signature ng Board of Election Inspector at saka ng Board of Canvassers?
Doon po sa aming ginawang amendment, kasama po yung congressional election dyan. So, ininak na yan in-amend yung batas noong 2007, January, at sinasabi doon, na pinag-usapan natin kasama yung Commission on Elections na doon sa Section 22 and 25 na ang election return papunta doon sa presinto ay kailangan electronically transmitted and digitally signed. So, ibig sabihin yan, yung chairman at saka yung dalawang members of the Board of Election Inspectors ay kailangan may digital signature na kailangan naka-embed doon sa election return. Papunta doon sa Municipal Board of Canvassing. Pero sa sinasabi kanina ni Senator Lina kanina, merong gap eh. So, explain natin yun.
Yung gap. Mamaya, itatanong ko po ang tanong ko po pwede bang iproklama yung mga kandidato?
Ang nakalagay po sa sections 22 and 25, the electronically transmitted election returns and digitally signed shall be the basis for proclaiming winning candidates. So, ibig sabihin,
Only. Nakalagay mo ba? Only.
Yes.
Based electronically
And digitally signed.
Oh.
Election
So, dalawang requirements.
Dalawa.
Before a candidate can be proclaimed as the winning candidates, kinakailangan electronically transmitted
and
and
digitally
digitally signed. Saan po yung only?
Section 32 and
Hindi, how is it worded? Only. Only electronically.
Wala yata yung only.
Wala?
Wala yata. Paki-check na kung nandun.
Meron.
Sa lagay doon.
So, to the members of the media, anong ibig sabihin? Kung hindi na iproklama yung mga kandidatong senador, congressman, governor, vice governor, board members, mayor, vice mayor, councilors, na-proclaim sila not on the basis of electronically transmitted and digitally signed ano yun? Digitally signed election returns or
Board of
canvas.
Certificate of
a
Canvas.
certificate of canvas.
So, ibig sabihin, yung DCN, dapat yan may digital signature, papatransmit doon sa Municipal Board of Canvassing. Pagdating doon sa munisipyo, yung canvassing server, dapat yun, meron ding digital signature from the MBOC to the Provincial Board of Canvassing. So, dapat yun, may digital signature din yun. Mula ho ng 2010, wala yun. Pagdating ng from Provincial Board of Canvassing to the National Board of Canvassing, dapat yun mayroon din digital signature. So, ilang hops ang digital signing mo?
BCN.
Tatlo. From the BCN to the NBOC, NBOC to the PBOC, PBOC to the National Board of Canvassing. So, 1, 2, 3.
So yan ang isang issue yan. No? Na malaking issue. Ngayon, yung gap, assuming tama lahat yung PIN, ano? Yung digital signature, nandiyan lahat. Pero, yung result na tinatransmit at saka with digital signature, iba doon sa, kasi may nagkaroon na ng gap, nakopya yung PIN, yung digital signature, pare-pareho, okay, fine, ang ganda, electronically transmitted. But garbage in, garbage out. Ito yung content ng election return at saka yung certificate of canvass, hindi reflective of the will of the people as they voted, no? Ano ang pwedeng mangyari doon sa gap? Kasi yung gap na nga malaking problema ngayon. That's another issue. Ano yung dapat, ayon sa batas, ano ba yung dapat ang mangyari sa transmission? Is it allowed? Ano po sinasabi ng batas?
So sa ating manual elections, alam po natin yun na magmula doon sa presinto, yung ballot box pupunta doon sa munisipyo. So diretso yun. Wala po tayong gap doon, dire-diretso doon. Not unless merong tinatawag na hijacking ng balota, no? Para palitan. Iba po yun. No? Pero ganun po. So doon sa automated election system, ganun din. From the precinct up to the Municipal Board of Canvassing. Dapat walang gap yan. Pero, doon sa aming Joint Congressional Oversight Committee...
Ano po sinasabi sa batas?
Wala po. Dapat walang gap.
There is no gap.
Para ka nag-text. Pag text mo, marireceive mo yan in speech.
So there is an express provision in the law that the transmission should be direct and continuous.
Ganun po yung omnibus election code natin.
Walang gap.
Walang gap yun.
What's the word?
Immediately after.
Immediately after. In law, you interpret the language as it is commonly understood. So immediately after. Immediately after is right after.
Immediately after printing the ink copy.
So, ibig sabihin, no, dapat walang gap. Ngayon, doon sa aming discussion, nung April 8, nung technical working group ng Joint Congressional Oversight Committee, abay, lumalabas na may gap at mayroong early transmission. Magkaiba po yun, ha? Yung early transmission, ibig sabihin, May 8, may nagtatransmit na.
Yan ba?
One day before the elections, may transmission.
That's another issue.
That's another issue.
There should be no early transmission of any result because there is no election in the first place yet.
May 8 at saka early morning of May 9
So,
of 2016.
Is it possible na May 30 ng election, May 12 mayroon ng transmission as it happened in the past? That's possible. Okay. You know,
Ito po, pinagpatunayan nung nag-attend ng meeting nung April 8. Sino po yung attend doon? Number 1, ang attend po doon yung head ng Technical Evaluation Committee, which is headed by the Department of Science and Technology. Sinasabi ng DOST may early transmission. DOST po yan. Yan ang head ng
May minutes ho ba yung
Meron po yan.
Pwede ho bang pakibigay niyo sa akin?
Meron po.
Yung minutes nung JE, ano to?
Joint Congressional Oversight
Joint Congressional Oversight
Committee.
Committee.
Ay, supposedly po, may JCO meeting ngayon. Ngayong week na to. No? Kaya lang, nagkaroon ng lindol.
You see, so much is at stake in an election. Okay? Huwag na natin sabihin the investments of the politician. No. It is how the country will be governed and how the local governments will be governed. That will impact on the quality of life of our people. That is what is really telling. That is how much is at stake. If we want to address poverty, if we want to address peace and order issue, health issue, traffic issue, the quality of leadership will be a big factor in improving the quality of life of our people. Ngayon, there is a presumption in law that presumption sa batas
Regularity.
ng lahat ng mga opisyales ng gobyerno kapag gumagawa ng kanilang trabaho ay sang-ayon sa batas and in good faith. There is a presumption of regularity in the performance of official functions, no? Pero, because of what happened in the past, we really have to, the people will have to continue challenging these issues because their votes are at stake. In the meantime, let's welcome
Dr. Attorney Leo Olarte, ang chairman ng BALOTA.
Okay, palakpakan po natin. So I think we have defined the
Dagdagan ko lang, Senator.
issues, no? Oh.
Hindi lang po DOST nandun. Nandun din po yung dating taga-Smartmatic. Yung official po ng Smartmatic, sinasabi rin nila niya na merong early transmission. Si Jet Li po yun. Tapos sinasabi rin po ni Atty. Melchor, meron din. So marami po nagpapatunay na may early transmission. So yung body po, the technical working group, was in unison on April 8 regarding that early transmission.
Dok, ako rin, sa tawag ng media, pwede ko sabihin na sa Bisaya, naliiko na ako naliiko. Kasi nalala ko si Chairman Petitioners, no? Hanggang sa nag-retire sa COMELEC, talagang pinanindigan niya na sa lahat ng mga question sa Smartmatic, wala napatunayan isa na patunay na nagkaroon ng irregularidad ng nakarang eleksyon, di ba? So you're saying na ganun din. So, ano ka lang? Ano yung mga kapatid sa media? May
Rambo lang.
Sinasabi kanina Senator Lina, yung gap, di ba? Bakit merong gap? So, diniscuss din doon sa technical working group ng Joint Congressional Oversight Committee na merong nag-intercept. May nag-intercept. Ano yun? So, meron palang server.
Ay,
Natawag queuing server. So, bago pumunta yan, doon sa canvassing, dumadaan muna from the precinct dito sa isang
Queuing
server. So, nagkakaroon ng proseso. So, kung pag-uusapan natin yung digital signing, sinay po dito, papunta doon sa queuing server, meron pang digital signature
Doon sa kape may nangyari sila
doon. So, dapat, papunta doon sa canvassing, meron pang digital signature from the queuing server, papunta doon sa
National.
canvassing.
Nagbibiro tuloy kami.
So-
Baka may mga nakatago yung guro doon sa makina. Diba?
So, yung sinasabi nga ni Senator Lina, bakit meron gap?
Okay.
So, iyan,
Mga kapatid.
kita po yan doon sa meeting natin sa technical working group. Ano?
Kasi
Sir, si Rambo
podcast. Sige, go ahead.
Si Rambo Laway ng DCXL na medyo na patingin lang ko sa it's better to light a candle than to curse darkness because evil prevails when good men do nothing. So marami tayong good men, kung wala tayong magawa, wala lang mangyayari yung election natin. Ang tanong ng taong bayan kasi laging duda tayo, karamihan sa atin eh. Siyempre, yung mga incumbent, lahat yan, may mga nandyan sa kanila lahat ng makinarya. Lahat yan, gagawa ng paraan na manalo. Kahit sino pang pangulo, lahat yan, mga tauhan yan, mga liporis yan, gusto manalo. So paano natin mapawi yung agam-agam ng ating mga kababayan na mayroong dayaan, 2010, 13 hanggang 16, at then 19, marami natin ginawang paraan, mga batas, to that extent computerized na tayo, digital. Paano natin mapapawi? Kasi nabanggit kanina, garbage in, garbage out. So ang computer, parang robot yan. Kung anong i-in natin, yun ang susunod. Sino yung mag-i-in, alam natin kung sino, at yung mga agam-agam na lamang si ganito, tapos biglang nagkaroon ng 30 million na binigay, biglang nagbago, tumaas na. Paano natin mawala yung agam-agam ng ating mga pababayan na talagang tunay talaga, parang laban sa sports, parang laban ni Manny Pacquiao. Kung talo, talo. Kung panalo, panalo. Ang tanong ko, meron ba talaga existing na talagang tunay? No? Aminin natin mga Pilipino kasi kapag may manalo, daya, wala bang tunay na kung talo ka. Better luck next time na lang. Anong gagawin natin para magkaroon ng tunay? Kung meron ba existing na batas, pamamaraan, Smartmatic, nabanggit kasi yung digital. Sa bangko, minsan, account mo biglang mag-withdraw. Meron sa bangko, hindi naman ako nag-withdraw, bakit nabawasan yung ano ko? O ikukumparan natin sa bangko, di ba? Anong dapat gagawin natin na mapaniwala natin ng taong bayan? Na itong computerized, malinis talaga ito, walang kahit kunting agam-agam na walang dayaan itong eleksyon nito, Atty.
Okay, ang sagot ko dyan, no, is dapat alisin yung Smartmatic. Kasi yung Smartmatic ang talagang sagni dyan sa mga agam-agam.
Yun.
And yung
Ano yung palit natin?
yung chief dyan, yung head dyan sa Smartmatic, talagang inamin na. Inamin na talagang mayroong tinatawag ng meeting room. Tatlo na yung server dyan, dapat na nakasaad dyan sa batas. Pero mayroong meeting room, so yung transmission na gagawa ng paraan doon sa meeting room na yan. At mayroong mga irregularity na nangyayari dyan bago i-transmit doon sa Board of Canvassers yung resulta ng balota.
Ibig
So
sabihin
dapat
yan,
yung Smartmatic alisin yan. Maghanap tayo ng ibang information technology machine or kumpanya na makapagbigay ng talagang certain results, no, honest to goodness results. Yung Smartmatic talagang may diferensya. Dapat alisin talaga yung Smartmatic.
Next, alisin, meron ba tayong papalit na talagang honest na mapagkatiwalaan na Sir, Atty.
Kung tatanungin niyo kami, kasi ako yung spokesperson ng Automated Election System 1. Magmula pa ng 2013, sinasabi na natin, mag-manual na lang tayo.
balik sa manual.
Yun ang sinasuggest natin. Ngayon, tinanong natin yung Department of Science and Technology, Technical Evaluation Committee. Meron ba tayong contingency plan just in case magkaroon ng failure of automation? Di ba? Kasi pagka may failure of automation, it would lead to failure of elections. Ano po ba? So, kung gano'n mangyayari, kung mayroong failure of automation, magiging lang tayo, magpano-mano. At sinasabi ng BOST, pwede. Paano? Di bilangin mo yung balota na sineto, pareho pa rin, di ba? Yun ang pinakamaganda na pwede nating pagkatiwalaan. Kita mo naman yung nangyayari sa overseas absentee voting. Yung voter's receipt, iba yung binoto, di ba? Magkaiba, may discrepancy. Mas maigi pa, bilangin mo ng mano-mano, di ba?
Sir, ang suggest nyo, balik na sa dati, manual na tayo. Pero yung bilis nung ang problema kasi counting sinasabi na pag-manual.
Hindi naman problema yung pagbibilang mo. Nakatandaan nyo ba yung barangay election natin? Napakabilis to, di ba? Wala lang problema to. Kahit ngayon automated ang tagal pa rin ng pagdedeklara mo na pagpoproclaim mo ng winning candidates, matagal din.
So,
mabilis lang.
sir,
sinasabi nila, dahil sinasabi ng mga teachers, ay nako, hindi na ako nagbibilang. Pero in reality, mali-mali.
ang suggestion niyo, sir, para magkaroon talaga ng tunay na malinis at tapat na halalan natin yung dating 2019, balik na tayo sa manual.
Mas maganda pa yan, mano-mano pa na lang.
Dok, ano ba sa yung dating automated operation manual? Ano ba sa'yo?
2004. supposedly dapat automated yung 2004 natin, di ba? Oh, ay sabi ng ano, magmano-mano na lang tayo, sabi ng Supreme Court, kagdatan.
Pero ano pa sa'yo? Ano pa sa'yo dating automated na bumalik sa manual?
Marami. Kung hindi ko sabihin yung ano mga bansa, Germany, no? Netherlands, marami po yan, sa Europe. So, kung yung mga bansa na yun, na mga advanced na dating automated,
Yes.
tapos nagmano-mano, nagawa pa nila at talagang makikita mo na transparent yung pagbibilang. Ngayon, sinasabi nga natin, dati nung 2004 elections, di ba, dapat yan automated. Pero ano po na nangyari? Mano-mano.
Okay.
Tatandaan niyo po yung 2004 elections natin? Mano-mano po yun, but that was supposedly automated.
Okay, Gina Mape of DWWW.
Good morning po. Yung po sinasabi niyong balik sa manual. Kasi meron po tayong automated election law. What will happen to the law? At saka po ngayon, napakaliit na po napaka-ikli na po ng panahon para magkaroon pa ng desisyon para bumalik sa manual.
20 days.
Oo, ilang days na lang po.
20 days before my date.
Dahil kung nagawa po ng COMELEC na magpano-mano yun, kaya rin yung gawin yun. Sinasabi nga ng DOST, may contingency plan. Then kasama yan sa batas na pagka may mga failure ng mga automation, hindi ka naman pumasok doon sa mga backup solutions. Ang pinaka-list na solution doon is pwedeng mano-mano. Di ba? Kasi ano ba naman yung gagawin mo doon? Kukunin mo ng balota doon sa ballot box, bibilangin mo.
Okay.
What's the difference? It's
Okay,
the
then,
same.
isa na lang po. Meron po kayong ipapile na petition, Magdamo, sa Supreme Court. Atty. Magdamo, could you share to us yung pong prayer po ninyo dun sa petition na supposed to be na i-file po kanina?
Well, sa simple pananalita, ang prayer doon ay, una-una, meron ng decision yung Supreme Court tungkol sa resibo noong 2016. Pero ang ginawa ng COMELEC, hindi naman niya in-implement yung decision ng Supreme Court. So, yung isang prayer doon, galangin naman yung decision ng Supreme Court. Ibig sabihin, pagka nakita ng botante yung kanya resibo, ang ginagawa ngayon ng botante, hahapos-haposin na niya yung resibo niya, tapos ilalagay sa isang kahon, tapos wala na. Malilibig na forever yung resibo niya.
Kailan po yan maipag-file?
Bukas.
Bukas. Pero di po ba, clear ko lang, kasi meron po kayong letter o petition sa COMELEC earlier on, just last week. Hindi po ba ito makaka-apekto sa tinatawag na parang forum shopping? Kasi wala pa po yan ang decision ang COMELEC tungkol dun sa petition.
Hindi po. Kasi yung 2016 decision ng Supreme Court, ganoon din nangyari. Maraming sulat-sulat sa COMELEC. Tapos, sabi ng COMELEC, hindi pa sinasagot ng COMELEC yung sulat ni Senator Gordon. Siya ang nag-fight na si Senator Gordon. Sabi ng Supreme Court, hindi mo na kailangan hintayin yan dahil hindi na sasagutin yan. So, ganun din sa yung petition natin ngayon. Na kung totoo itong petition na to, kung titignan mo, way back 2015, may pinahilakang gano'n sa COMELEC. Hindi sinagot. So, 4 years in the waiting. Hindi sinasagot. Kung kung sa prutas overripe na to, nag-ferment na, naging alcohol na ito.
Okay, thank you very much po. Thank you, Lakay.
Okay.
Welcome, Atty. Mike Aragon. Dr. Mike Aragon, ang ating spokesman.
Yes, first of all, gusto ko lang masalamatan yung kaibigan natin dito. Si Rolly Lakay Gonzalo.
Mata na ko.
Kumanta ka na. The president of the National Press Club, NPC. He is currently the president of the National Press Club, and he is, together with his organization, the NPC, will be partnering with Mata sa Balota this coming 2019 for the information campaign of Mata sa Balota, the advocacy of Mata sa Balota, which is clean, honest, peaceful, accurate elections. So, maraming salamat Lakay for being here, and you will see the National Press Club and Mata sa Balota
very, very active soon, no? Sa information campaign, no? Earlier, nakita niyo yung mga high school kids dito, narinig niyo yung banda. That's the song. Nandito na si Senator Joey. Nalate ako kanina pa. Nauna pa si Senator Joey sa akin. So, gusto ko lang i-announce na ito pong banda na to, yung email band in Tagalog, Sulat Chronico, we will be using them as part of our campaign nationwide to promote awareness among the youth, no? Mga millennials, no? Because the thing that we're fighting for at this point in time is not only for us, no? But we are particularly pinpointing the millennials, the youth, because we're fighting for the future of this country, the future of the youth, no? So ito po, we will bring them, and the song, mamaya we will request them again to sing one more time the landmark song, Mata sa Balota, Huwag sa Pera, which is, we will do that. We will do that basically. So, for the record, we're supposed to file the petition sa Supreme Court ngayong umaga after the forum, kaso nagkaroon ng lindol. And there's an advisory from the government na wala mo ng government na pasok. No? So, we will file the Supreme Court petition tomorrow. We will be there at 9 o'clock at the Supreme Court. 11? 11? Okay, sige. Sige, 11. Maramdaman nyo kami dyan sa Supreme Court. Just open your ears. Ang pinakamaingay na grupo doon sa Supreme Court, no? Because we're going to march towards the Supreme Court tomorrow at 11. Basically, 11. So, you will see us there. And itong forum na to, supposed to be is the information campaign for that. Pero bukas po, we will be there. I would like to call our host, the President. Yes.
20 days to go.
Yes.
April, it's already April 23rd. So 7 days to go in April and 13 days to go in May. You filed a petition with the COMELEC. What makes you decide to go to the Supreme Court? Is it because COMELEC, for limitation of time, they may not act on it, and it will be moot and academic? That's why you have to go already to the Supreme Court. Is there legal basis for what you will do, Atty. Nel?
Yes, there's legal basis. In 2010, former Vice President Gingona filed a similar petition on April 23, 2010. And the Supreme Court decided on May 6, 2010. And in 2016, Senator Gordon filed a similar petition just around the same dates. The Supreme Court decided in just 2 weeks because of the urgency.
Well, the suspension of the elections.
No, what the Supreme Court did is, in 2016, the Supreme Court ordered COMELEC to issue a receipt. Kasi before 2016, wala nang resibo eh. So in just 2 weeks time, na-office lang yung group ni Senator Gordon, compelling COMELEC to issue a resibo. And kung wala pa sa issue to comply, because actually, nasa makina naman yan eh, yung capability, ayaw lang i-activate. So dito naman, dito sa petition na ipapayag natin, is just telling COMELEC to honor the Supreme Court decision of 2016 na pag nag-issue ng resibo, hayaan mo naman importante na ma-audit yung resibo na yan after the close of polls. Yun na naman eh, to honor the Supreme Court decision.
So, ito rin kasi sabi yun, balik na lang tayo sa manual.
Hindi, ano naman yan. Siguro for 2022 siguro yun.
Kasi hanggang ngayon, nananatiling may agam-agam ang lahat sa eleksyon, sa sistema ng ating eleksyon sa paggamit ng mga makina, di ba? So yung say, balik tayo sa manual.
Sige, sagutin mo muna yan.
Pag sinabing manual, kasi yung four stages yung election eh. Voting, counting, canvassing, and transmission. Yung manual mo, yung laging voting lang. The other three, pwede mo i-automate yan yung transmission. So, hybrid hybrid yung ginagawa ng maraming countries, first world countries all over the world. At least 18 first world countries all over the world, hybrid elections. Wherein mano-mano sa presinto, and all the rest is electronic, automated.
If the photographing of the BBPAC is not allowed, okay? What will be a fallback position, if any, by the MATA sa balota? Because if the BBPAC is photographed, then realistically, mata sa balota, Doc Mike, mata sa balota can do a random sampling of X percentage of the 82,000 cluster precincts. But if the photographing is not allowed, then you'll not be able to do will you still be able to do a random sampling? Even if there is no photograph of the photographing allowed of the BBPAC.
So in 2016, what we did in 2016, Mata sa Balota conducted sort of an exit poll.
Yeah, well, the exit poll is different.
Yes.
But here, it's random.
Yes.
X number of precincts all over the country,
Yes.
which can, if you extrapolate the result of the random sampling, that can be representative of the 82,000 plus election precincts.
Yes, sir.
But if you are not able to do that, because COMELEC will not allow photography, okay? Is there a fallback position?
Yes, sir. We're proceeding towards that direction.
But exit poll, which is different.
Yes. So this morning we have invited our comrade way back in 2016, no? For transparency purposes. Mata sa Balota is non-partisan. However, itong in-invite natin ngayon, kasama namin in 2016 to sa Mata sa Balota. And he was formerly the president of the Philippine Computer Society. So siguro we will ask Professor Toti Casillo. By the way, he is a candidate right now for senator, but he's here on his personal capacity as part of the advocacy for clean, honest election. Let me direct the question to Professor Toti. Prof, can you answer that?
Okay, good morning. The preamble of the Republic Act 1969 clearly states it has to be transparent, accurate, and with integrity. Now, also in the section 7, it specifies minimum system configuration. It can be audited. All right. Now, ang features dapat nito. Let's start from the biggest machine and the ballot. The biggest machine is an IP address, which pertains to where is this machine located at, by the precinct, by the polling center, by the city, by the province, by the region. So, understandably, in the computer lingo, when you have the IP address, mati-geotag na siya. Kumbaga sa Google Maps, kumbaga sa Uber, bakit kayo agad kung nasan siya? So that takes the integrity. Yung ballot paper has to have a serialized. Just like in the manual system, all ballot papers are serialized. So pag dumaan sa scanner, ika-capture niya yung serial number. Dapat pag print out ng BBPAT, alam niya agad na itong binasa niyang dokumento comes from the serial number na ballot. So imamatch mo na yun. And then, once you already done the close of precinct and then you count, and nilalabas na yung kanyang election returns, dapat ilalagay na doon, aside from the total of the votes cast for each candidate, meron siyang i-print out na audit lang. The audit lang is very crucial. Okay, under the law, under Section 19 of Republic Act 1969 and also Section 32, immediately after the 8th copy of the printout has been issued, the word is immediately after, no? Two things mayari. One, the BI has to post the election returns on a wall that everybody can see wherein people can capture that using a camera or any data capturing device. That's one. The other one is yung electronically transmit and digitally sign. Now, with regards to what Mata sa Balota, we've been discussing this on our own personal capacity. pwede natin gawin yan to do a parallel count. Alright? Kasi hindi mo mahirap nga yung capturing mo nga yung BBPAT at yung balota because that's what you call yung ballot secrecy. Sanctity of the ballot and the secrecy of the ballot. Kaya nga, you cannot violate that law. But there is nothing wrong when you capture the election returns because that's required by law, that's allowed by law.
Capturing the election return.
Election returns, which has to be posted on a wall.
Okay.
Nakita ng everybody that everybody is allowed to capture, and that should stay there for 48 hours.
So will
And
that-
any violation of that,
Yeah.
any violation of that is punishable.
Yeah, will that suffice, again, to my fellow members of the media, will that suffice that photographing of the election return,
Right.
which should be posted 48 hours from the
Correct.
closing of the precinct?
Correct.
Okay.
Now,
With that, if you have, say, 10% all over the country that will send you the photograph of the election return, will that be sufficient?
okay, the purpose for that is to match that with the results being posted on a website. That is also specified in the law.
So there are alternative ways of doing it.
Not necessarily specified in the law. In fact, the law says,
What for sa balota purposes of conducting
match.
an audit.
an audit.
An audit.
Right. So you have to match that with what is posted on the website. And the website should stay there for 3 years. So if you captured that already, permanent na siya. Maski 14 hours na nakapost sa wall, pag na-capture mo with the device, ano na siya? Evidence na siya in court because it's already captured in the camera.
Will the election return carry the digital signature?
No, well, there you will have to sign it manually in the printout. But when you send it electronically, that will be posted on a website, that is to be digitally signed.
So the election return that will be posted will be signed
Yes, by a BI chairman.
BI and the members of the board of
Correct.
inspectors or,
Yes.
or canvassers
Right.
for that matter.
Right,
If it is in the canvassing board.
yes. Because that's also required them to put that on the minutes if there are any objections from the voters that it does not reflect. Now, yung sa audit lang, what it will print there is the serial number of the ballot. Kaya very important po yan para pag nakita natin, binilang itong serial number na to. Kasi there are some voters that might not come to vote, di ba? And then they will say, okay, all of these serial number are equally to the pag-inisyon ka ng BI, di ba? Ikaw voter ka sa Senate, nakalagay din yung serial number, right?
Yeah.
So alam nila, the following serial numbers, the following ballots have been issued to this voter, and the remaining ballots that have been issued are these numbers. So titingnan mo naman yun. Titingnan mo kung if these numbers are present or not, right? Now, pag nagawa mo na yun, then consistently, all the things that is accounted for from the ballot to the machine, which transmits that, even in the audit lab, it will also reflect ano yung IP address nung pinanggalingan nung transmission.
Okay. Toti, the COMELEC, the way I understood it from Atty. Mel, COMELEC bans the photographing.
Nung BBPAT,
How about yung
election returns? Hindi, it's there in the law.
No, the COMELEC resolution.
Wala naman sila sinasabing power, sila ba?
The election returns, you can take picture.
So there's no controversy with that.
No controversy with that. Although it's very difficult because the paper looks like a toilet paper. It's very long, it's very slim. It's very difficult to take picture of the election return.
Yeah, the
Pag
katakutan.
sinelfie mo naman yun, pwede na yun. Pwede mo nang i-zoom yun. Then transfer mo na lang siya sa isang medium na pwede mo na siya i-enlarge. Mas gamitin mo yung tablet, yung mga yung iPad, pwede yun.
So my question now to Batas Balota is this. Does it have enough manpower all over the country to do a random audit?
Yes.
And what will be the percentage of precincts that will be covered by this random audit?
The answer said is yes, no? And on the 82,000
Assuming it's 82,000.
clustered precinct, 83,000 clustered precinct, no? We are targeting at least on a 60% coverage. No? We have warm body volunteers ready to do that. As a matter of fact, we are now training volunteers, no, to execute this coming May 13, 2019 midterm election. The goals of Mandasa BALOTA in its monitoring and watching procedures. No? We will be there as in 2016, in 2019 we will be there, and we have these facilities to do that, and the technology. No? As you can see, our friends kasama namin sa 2016 are all technical people, like the Philippine Computer Society, formerly headed by Professor Toti. So, ICE Watch, the Automated Election System Watch, which is now, which was formerly headed by Professor, you're still heading it, no? And at the same time, he's the spokesperson, is composed of around 43 or more non-governmental organizations. No? Mandasa BALOTA is a loose group, no, composed of so many organizations that loves this country, and we're willing to do that for this country, para po sa bayan.
Singin ko na.
Yes, ito si
Professor. Di ba, yung pinag-usapan natin yung BBPAT. Marami tayong mga irregularities na na-experience dyan sa overseas absentee voting, katulad na yung binoto ko dun sa BALOTA, iba yung sa BBPAT. Ang pinakamaganda dyan, kung ikaw ay nag-agree, no, dun sa boto, dapat pirmahan mo yung BBPAT. That's also a control measure na pwede natin gamitin. No? Pirmahan mo yung BBPAT. Para nagpapatunay na ikaw, kung pumapayag ka dun sa boto mo, dun sa BALOTA.
And there's no prohibition.
No prohibition.
You can sign your own receipt.
Pirma mo yung resibo, di ba? Yeah. So,
Resibo
verify
yan.
ko, tama to, pirmahan ko. Walang iniwan yan doon sa ATM mo. Nag-withdraw ko ng 5,000, tinignan ko, pareho, okay na. Doon sa kuya.
Okay. So, it's a question now of mobilizing the number of people that you will need to do a random audit. Shall we call it a random audit? Citizens random audit is spearheaded by the Mandasa BALOTA.
Or kailangan ba ng certification from COMELEC, sir?
Ah?
Hindi kayo mukhang poll watcher tayo dito?
Well,
Poll watcher? Kailangan ng ID.
there's no prohibition to that effect, right? Citizens can form their own groups.
Pagpasok sa presinto, parang...
No. The election return is posted outside. Is it outside the election precinct? Okay, so non-posting is a crime committed by the members of the Board of Election Inspectors and by the members of the Board of Canvassers.
So hindi na kailangan ng special ID
Permit?
permit?
Well,
Ang Mandasa BALOTA?
the citizens group can have their own identification.
Hindi, saka for 48 hours nakapaskilya siya, kahit anong oras mo i-copy yun, libre ka na, di ba?
Yeah.
I don't think there's going to be a security guard running that for 48 hours to prohibit anybody. Kaya yung purpose ngayon, for 48 hours na nakapaskil and no less, so that any citizen, the word nga is anyone in the law, the word is anyone can capture it via any photocopying device, ang word nun.
Will you say that this random audit is a way of ensuring that what will appear in the election, in the canvassing, whether municipal or provincial or even national, is you can compare the election, the result from the election returns as consolidated in the municipal canvas. You can now compare the result from the precinct to the consolidated number in the municipal or city canvas or provincial canvas. You can now compare. And if there is disparity, the citizens can now make a clamor or protest that the result in the election precinct is not reflected in the consolidated canvas.
It all depends. You have to have a software program that can compute the results with
Well,
assuming meron.
assuming.
Kasi yung pag ginamit mong Excel, separate yung file na yun.
Well,
Assuming meron.
Yeah.
And then, you're given how many hours, Attorney Mel, to submit a protest within 3 days pa ang political candidate to submit a protest. Di ba meron ganun sila? Na within 7 days, dapat the protest will be submitted already in the COMELEC by the political party objecting to the count.
I already forgot how long, but because hardly anyone does it because of the setup.
But I think under the law, I think
Certain number.
within 7 days or within 72 hours, any political party and or candidate must file a protest. Otherwise, wala na yun.
Yes.
That's what I recall.
I don't recall the exact
Number. Pero meron siyang window.
Meron.
You have a window to submit. If you have ready, then that will take the case for further investigation, for further review.
Credibility is crucial. Will mata sa balota communicate who it is, what it is to the general public, so much so that credibility is established. It's part of the territory to gain credence, to gain acceptability. Will mata sa balota go into a massive information campaign as to its identity, so that in the consciousness of the public, it is a credible group that will undertake a random audit.
Yes, we have here close coordination with Lakay, Rolly Gonzalo, is now the president of the National Press Club. And if there is any irregularity, any anomaly that we can discover as a result of our observation of the election results, then we will do a massive press conference, and we will announce this to the public to make the public aware that there is a fraud in the conduct of the election. And even before the election, on May 13, we have already been doing provincial and city and municipal sorties, and we have been notifying, informing the people that they should be always alert, and they should always make sure that our elections is clean, honest, accurate, meaningful, and peaceful election, which is our mission and vision in Mata sa Balota, the champion. We are the champ for a clean, honest, accurate, meaningful, peaceful elections.
Together with that, let me just announce the website of Mata sa Balota. Last week, we have introduced the new officers of Mata sa Balota in 2019, headed by our chairman, the former or past president of the Philippine Medical Association, and currently the vice president of the Philippine Hospital Association, no other than Dr. Leo Olarte. Dr. Olarte is a surgeon. At the same time, he is also a lawyer. We have also introduced the president of Mata sa Balota, Mr. Manny Galvez. Mr. Manny Galvez was the former president of Clean Air Philippines Movement Incorporated. So, and we are very transparent in announcing the different members. Ang mga members po ng Mata sa Balota are not individual persons. Basically, there are organizations. I have stated the case of the ICE Watch, AES Watch. Sa ICE Watch alone, more than 40 organizations, umbrella po yun. And so we coordinate with a lot of organizations. Let me announce also another partner of Mata sa Balota, the Fraternity of the Philippine Eagles. These are an organization dedicated to nationalism and patriotism. They have volunteered their forces. Marami po ito sila. libo-libo po sila all over the Philippines, no? This is headed by its national chair, Mr. Louis Sinesa, no? And we have a lot of interfaith groups also with us, no? So kami po, pwede siguro ninyo sabihin na kami po yung silent majority, tahimik lang po kami, nagsasalita kami kung kailan magsalita. Pag hindi kailangan magsalita, we're just there, watching and monitoring, no? Again, sinabi namin ito, para ito sa bayan, no? So, this is an advocacy for the future of this country. And, idadagdag ko po, ang general roadmap para maintindihan ninyo po yung ginagawa. As the media affairs of Batas sa Balota, this is my responsibility to inform you of the things that we're doing. So, in a nutshell, ganito po ang plano in 2019. In 2016, ang Batas sa Balota, we were there, we did exit polls, and nagkaroon ng problema, lumutang yung Batas sa Balota. We are the group who filed the historic electoral sabotage case against this project head of Smartmatic in 2016, Venezuelan citizen by the name of Marlon Garcia. We filed a case against him in court. We also filed a whole departure order against him. No? Together with him, we filed also a case against the former COMELEC chairman, Andres Bautista. No? Electoral sabotage ito. At saka, sinama po namin yung head at the time of PPSRB, si Ambassador Tita De Villa. Bakit PPSRB? Kasi itong mga nangyaring kaguluhan, naalala niyo yung NIE na sa transparency server, pumasok si Marlon Garcia, then overnight, biglang nagkatalunan na ibang kandidato. No? So we found some cause to go to court and find the case. That was in 2016. Now, in 2019, ito po ang ginagawa ng Batas sa Balota. The legal side and the war body side. On the legal side, we found out that COMELEC and Smartmatic literally violated more than 36 points in the automated election system law. Violation po ito ng batas na nagpapairal ng automated election. Eh dapat may mga corresponding penalties ito. However, it's COMELEC eh. They're the one doing it. No? So, ang problema po, hindi po sila nag-check, hindi po sila na-penalize because walang nagre-reklamo. Ngayon, in 2019, ito po ang gagawin natin sana today. Dudulog tayo sa Supreme Court and to petition the Supreme Court to order, the legal term that is Mandamus, attorney, right? To order COMELEC and even Smartmatic to literally implement those things under the law na hindi po nila ginawa in 2013, 2010, 2016, no? So this is a Mandamus, no? We're publishing this strategy because we would like to give COMELEC and Smartmatic a fair warning na kung ano-ano man yung mga problema na yan, sana hindi magyari ito sa May 13, 2019. Nakita na po natin ang nangyari in 2016. Why? Na sinasabi namin, hindi po ito chismis. Yeah. In 2016, because of kaguluhan, there's a lot of people who filed cases. No? And there was a landmark decision from the legal sector, from the courts, na inoorderan po yung COMELEC at saka Smartmatic na kung pwede, ang mga SD cards ng mga PCOS machine, it's now called VCM, Voters Counting Machine. It was PCOS machine in 2010. Kung pwede, i-turn over for purposes of forensic. That was the landmark thing na pinaka-success story dito sa laban natin. No? So, COMELEC and even Smartmatic doesn't have any option but to comply with that order. Nang tinan over nila yung SD card, no? For forensic purposes, no? Alam naman na natin na every time na may aksidente, every time na may mga pangyayari na sakuna, ma-crash yung aeroplano, ang unang-unang hinahanap is the black box. Bakit? Because lahat ng records, lahat ng data, lahat ng communication na nangyari from the time ng take-off yung aeroplano hanggang mag-crash yan, nakalagay yan dyan. So, nang nangyari yan in 2018, tinan-over for forensic purposes, marami po ang mga kasamahan natin, yung grupo natin, together with the protesters, na nakita. Pati po yung mga websites na pinupuntahan ng mga Smartmatic technician in the May 9, 2016 election, yung mga websites ng mga porno sites, no? Nakita natin sa loob, www.pornohub, www.xvideo, etc. It's all part of the evidences na na-forensic po natin way back in 2018. So, yan po yung nangyayari. Now, going back to the general strategy of Mata sa Balota 2019, we're going to the courts. We're asking the Supreme Court to issue an order, specifically ordering COMELEC and Smartmatic to implement the law to the letter. Now, once mabigyan tayo ng favorable, ang prayers natin mabigyan ng favorable action, no? Then, this coming May 13, 2019, ang gagawin po ng Mata sa Balota and all those volunteers ng Mata sa Balota is to watch. Maghahanap po tayo ng tinatawag natin ng mga ebidensya. Ebidensya ng ano? Ebidensya ng kategoryan. Ebidensya probably na mga pag-violate sa batas, the election law. And of course, if the Supreme Court will favor us, mga ebidensya na binaviolate ulit nitong mga taong ito who was tasked to do the elections. No? Yung Mandamus, yung recent Mandamus, if the Supreme Court will favor us with this. No? So, ang mangyari dyan, because very clear na, nakita na natin that there's an open violation, penalty should be there na dapat natin gawin. No? So, these are the things that Mata sa Balota is trying to do. Okay? On the side, sa legal side, isusumbong po natin sila sa mga leaders natin. There are three branches of government. We have the executive, we have the legislative, and we have the judiciary. Ito po yung galaw natin supposed to be today sa Supreme Court, but tomorrow at 11 o'clock tayo magmamarcha sa Supreme Court. This is addressed to the judiciary. Humihingi tayo ng ayuda sa Supreme Court because we believe and we trust the leadership of the Supreme Court. No? Now, just in case makita nila itong argumento natin, they will favor us with the Mandamus. Once we have proven the violation, then babalik po tayo sa Supreme Court. Okay. Number two, sa executive branch. Bago executive. Sa legislative branch, we are now coordinating with the legislative branch through JCO, Joint Congressional Oversight Committee ng Kongreso at sa mga Senado. Yung ISWATs and all our friends are there. Naging resource person sila doon, etc. Pag nakita po natin itong mga violation, isusumbong po natin ulit sa Senado at saka sa Kongreso. And the third, the executive part of the government, the President. We are hoping and we believe in the heart of this President. Alam mo, itong Presidente ng Pilipinas ay very unique. No? Unique in the sense that napaka-patriotic ng Presidente ito. This President loves the Filipino people and is going to fight for the Filipino people. Maraming mga critics ng Presidente, but kami po, we believe in his heart. No? So, pag meron na kami mga ebidensya na nakalap, etc., pupunta rin kami ng Presidente. Ang Mata sa Balota will go to the President, and once we seek the audience of the President, dala-dala po namin yung mga ebidensya namin. Mahirap kasi magsalita kung walang ebidensya. And these evidences that nakakalap namin during the May 13, 2019 are evidences that is admissible in a court of law. Bakit namin nasabi na kaya namin nakalap? Kasi nakita na namin kung ano ang mga nangyari in the past, 2010, 2013, 2015. And probably, nakita na rin namin kung kung ano ang mangyayari in 2019. Kaya itong broadcast natin, itong media activities natin is a way of telling those people involved in the elections na sana huwag na po paulit, no? Tama na. Alam na namin. And this time, we'll do something about it. We'll do something about it. No? So anyway, that is the general idea that to answer and to more or less expound the answer by Chairman ng BALOTA, Dr. Leo Olarte. And we will, before your question, Bishop, saglit lang. Meron po sasabihin si Professor Nelson. No? He is the head and the spokesperson of Ice Watch.
Yeah, regarding yun doon sa random manual audit, kailangan mapag-aralan ng gusto yan kung paano gagawin. Kasi baka naman mangyari yan, hindi talaga random. Pero kailangan in public talaga. Sabihin paano gagawin yung random manual audit. And then, with regard to the BBPAT, kailangan doon sa random manual audit na gagawin, hindi lang bibilangin mo yung yung balota, pati yung BBPAT, kailangan bilangin mo rin, nagmamatch ba? Di ba? Yan ay ginagawa din sa US, sa Colorado, sa California, ginagawa yan. Para ma-prove na talagang ma-verify mo yung balota at saka yung BBPAT. Di ba? That's a simple validation methodology. Aside from sinabi natin kanina, pirmahan mo yung BBPAT. Wow, talagang genuine. Yan lang Doc Mike.
Yes, before you ask your question, Bishop, let me ask a question kay Attorney. Well, yeah. Okay. Sige po,
napaganda po ng pagsimula ng mata sa balota. Ibig sabihin, mata po ng sambayanan yan. Sa sa ating pong bansa, sa matutukulorin lipunan, lagi po natin pinag-uusapan yung mga sistemang mali kada election. Pagkatapos po nawawala. Kaya hindi po nagtatagumpay. Sapagkat alam po natin sa ating bansa, ang election po ngayon ay negosyo na. Kahit sa gusto natin, tanggapin natin. Sapagkat kung wala kang pera, hindi ka tatakbo. Ngayon, ang pagsilang po ng mata sa balota, kung tuloy-tuloy po yan, ay siya magsisimula at susunod po sa bagong pamaraan ng tama. Sapagkat ang inaayos po nyo ngayon, nakakita ko, pabor po sa mga sambayan ng Pilipinong bumoboto na silang makatiyak sa kanilang mga boto. Ngayon, ito po ba ituloy-tuloy? Ibig po sabihin, ang kasalanan din po ng ating mga politiko kapag ka po nahalal na sila, yung magandang adikain, nalilimutan na ho, hindi na tinutuloy. Dapat sana nung araw pa na wala na yan eh. Kung gusto nila, pero ayaw po ng mga politiko. Dahil sa ngayon po, ang nakita natin mga politiko ay mabait, magaling pagdating ng eleksyon. Pagkatapos po nun, hindi na naisip yung kanilang ipinangako nung nakaraan. So, ang mata po sa balota, ang siyang magsisimula siguro para po magkaroon ng pagbabago sa ating sistema para maniwala po ang Pilipino sapagkat ang nasasaktan po sa kada eleksyon ay ang taong bayan. Katulad po nakaraan, alam na natin ang kadayan. Kumilos ba yung mga bagong halal na kongresista at senador? Wala pong kumilos para itama. Kung gayon, mas maganda po itong mata sa balota na tuloy-tuloy para po magkaroon ng pagbabago sapagkat ako'y naniniwala po magsisimula sa mamayan, sa mga organisasyon katulad nito. Ang tama kasi pag ginamit po natin ang mga politiko, kailanman ho, walang mangyayari kapag po after election, nalimutan na yan. At ang usapan po, lalo sa COMELEC, alam naman natin, dito, usapang pera-pera. Magaling ka ngayon because may experience ako. Ako, 43 years na sa media, print broadcast media. 77 na po ako. At naging bisya pa ako, spiritual Filipino Catholic Church, publisher, editor po ako ng sarili ng dyaryo, at editorial consultant ako ng People's Balita, may programa ko sa WAD at sabi ng bayan. Ang nais ko na po itama, kung ang mata sa balota ang siyang magsisimula ng tama, napakaganda po ito. Kinakailangan simulan lang po natin tuloy-tuloy. Huwag po natin kalilimutan kapag kahit ay nalimutan na after election, susunod na election, ganito naman tayo. Kaya kung ang mga member po at mga opisyal ay may mapangako sa taong bayan na itong gagawin natin mata sa balota ang siya magsisimula ng magandang bukas ng lahat ng sambayanang Pilipino para po magkaroon ng halaga ang boto nila. Dito po pinag-uusapan natin gano'ng kahalaga yung boto mo. Eh wala pong naging halaga sapagkat yung daya naroon na eh. Yung mismo nakita nating mga bumoboto, talagang bumoboto mo tama. Kaya lang, pinabago po nung mga nasa gobyerno.
Salamat, Bishop.
Kaya yun po ang aking nais na sana tuloy-tuloy para po magtagumpay ang mata sa balota.
Pagsamahan mo kami, samahan tayo ng buong bayan, then we will succeed. We also have our friends from the social media, si Camilo. No? Camilo, go ahead.
Magandang tanghali po ulit sa inyo. Ang COMELEC may record of disregarding your good suggestions. 24, 2013, 2016. Now, this coming 2019, May 13 election, we don't expect them to give a listening ear. Sabi nga ni Atty. Magdamo, ang sabi ng spokesman, you're jumping the gun. Di ba? Ngayon, here, in your prayer, everything will be resulting in nothing if the election will push through as is. Sa inyo bang prayer na invited to submit tomorrow, will you include a prayer for a temporary order so that until such time that they have complied with the substantial requirement of the law? Will you include that in the temporary restraining order?
TRO.
TRO, because barely with just 20 or 21 days to go. Baka hindi makapag-decide agad ang Supreme Court, but they can decide to give you the temporary restraining order.
Thank you. Before we ask Atty. Magdamo to answer that, gusto ko lang i-clarify yung position stand ng mata sa balota. Ang gusto ng mata sa balota, tuloy ang eleksyon this coming May 13, 2019. Tuloy. Ang gusto natin, itutuloy natin sa malinis na proseso. Clean, sabi ni Dr. Olarte, clean, honest, accurate, meaningful, and peaceful election siya. No? Wala kaming bala na i-delay o i-restrain yung constitutional right natin lahat na bumoto ng mga bagong leaders ng bayan. Mata sa balota is there to push for the actual conduct of election is coming May 13, 2019. So let me ask Atty. Magdamo to officially answer your question on the temporary restraining order.
The prayer of the one to be filed tomorrow has no prayer for temporary restraining order. And there are two reasons for that. In the 2010 case by former Vice President Kiko, there was no prayer for temporary for TRO, and yet the Supreme Court granted it. In the 2016 case of Senator Rolando, there was also no prayer for TRO, and yet the Supreme Court granted it. To be candid with you, kaya wala nakasulat ng TRO dyan, wala kasi akong pera mahal din So, pang-pauper litigan yung iba natin bukas. No? Pero according to someone who works for Senator Gordon, kasi they will intervene They will intervene kasi nasa abroad pa kasi si Senator Gordon. Total mayaman siya na mag-pray ng TRO, no? Para bayaran niya yung fees for that. No? So,
Atty. Mel, wala pera yung mata sa balota. Ang yaman ng mata sa balota is sa puso ng bawat kasama natin. Sa puso, anong puso ito? A patriotic and a nationalistic heart. No? Tama na. Kung tayo mag-eleksyon, tayo mga Pilipino gagawa ng eleksyon. Hindi natin dapat payagan yung mga dayuhan na gumawa at saka probably maglagay ng mga liderato natin. Because election is the first process of all these things. Ang sinasabi ni Presidente Duterte, corruption. No? Alam mo yung corruption basically starts with the basic process of electing the new leaders of our country. Pag yung proseso sa pag-elect ng mga bagong liderato, leaders ng country natin, corrupt, ibig sabihin, napipili, nadadaya, etc., etc., malaking puhunan po ng mga mandaraya.
ang ilalabas sa pulsa nila. Pag yan, nanalo at saka nailagay yung mga magdaraya sa posisyon ng gobyerno, anong gagawin? Babawiin po yung gastos nila. Mag-ROI sila, return of investment. So saan nila kukunin yung pangbawi ng gastos nila during the process of a dirty election? Siyempre, sa kaban ng bayan. Pag naubos na yung kaban ng bayan kasi ninakaw ng mga magdaraya, no, na nagbayad during the election, anong mangyari? Ubos na yung pera ng bayan. Ang gobyerno mapipilitan po na mag-impose ng mga panibagong taxes. So, sino ngayon magbabayad ng mga panibagong taxes? Lahat tayo. Yun yung point natin. Clean election leads to clean governance, which ultimately will lead to a cleaner Philippines. Kami po sa Clean Air Philippines Movement Incorporated, we're fighting for clean air, clean environment, no? Pero in-expand po namin ito into the mata sa Balota advocacy. Okay? So I am the chairman of the Clean Air Philippines Movement Incorporated. We are fighting for anything that is clean so that we will have a clean Philippines. And the election process is a vital part of the process para itong bansang Pilipinas na mahal natin. Ang sabi natin, we will die for this country. And ang mahal natin yung bansang ito, we have to make our voice count at this point in time. Before you ask our friends from the media, tatanungin ko lang officially si Atty. Mel, kasi siyempre tinatanong ng mga media friends natin, pwede ba mababasa yung petition ninyo na isa-file? Supposed to be today, so we're gonna file it at 11 o'clock tomorrow, no? Okay. Pwede ko ba bigyan yung friends natin sa media through email an advance copy? Is that allowed?
Yes, kasi na-copy forward na si COMELEC and si Smartmatic and yung Office of Solicitor General. So, ano na yan, wala nang atrasan yan.
So we will ask our friends from the media to give us your email address. Kasi pag nalaman namin yung email ninyo, I will email you the full 44 pages of the petition for Mandamus sa Supreme Court na dadali namin bukas at 11 o'clock. So pakilista lang yung email address ninyo, then after this forum, i-email ko sa inyo lahat itong
Attorney, nabanggit nga sa yung petition, 44 pages. Ano ho yung pinakabuod, yung laman ng inyong reklamo at kanino yung address, ano yung mga patayan nyo na para ireklamo kung sino yung ireklamo. Para may idea kami dun sa advancer na i-report namin.
Yung pinakabuod nito, continuation to ng final ni Senator Gordon noong 2016.
Ano po yun? Yung
na mag-issue ng resibo. Bigyan ng resibo yung botante. Tapos, ano nangyari? Parang ATM di ba? Pag nag-withdraw ka, meron kang resibo. Pag walang papel yung ATM, sasabihin ng ATM, are you willing to continue kahit walang resibo? Di ba? Nagpapaalam mo na sa'yo. Ang nangyari dito sa COMELEC, binigyan ka ng resibo, tapos isasakalin mo rin sa COMELEC, para ka nag-withdraw, pag kuha mo ng resibo, ibabalik mo sa loob ng ATM yung resibo mo. So, kalokohan yung nangyari, no? Hindi na-audit yung resibo na yun.
Walang ebidensya?
Wala eh. So, yung itago yung resibo na, kaya pag sarado ng pagdating ng 5 o'clock, assuming na 5 o'clock pa rin yung close of polls, no? Hayaan yung putante na ibulat-tat yun, i-xerox yun, o kulang ng litrato. Yun yung isang doon. At yung pangalawa, yung tinatawag na digital signature na medyo mas mahirap maintindihan yan. Pero siguro sa madaling salita, yung password yun eh. Parang PIN, yung digital signature. Parang siyang numero o... Ang nakakaalam lang doon, yung teacher.
Hindi napipeke yung digital. Talagang kung pwede.
Mahirap. Kung susundin yung kung susundin yung... Parang napipeke yun kung tatanga-tanga yung teacher.
Pwede ma-determine kung peke at saka hindi. Kasi doon sa digital signature na binabanggit niya, attorney.
Baka iniisip mo yung in-scan na signature. Hindi ko yun. Password mo yun. Kombinasyon ng numero sa ng letra. pagka sinabi ng teacher, kasi yung teacher lang nakakaalam nun eh. Hindi alam ng COMELEC, hindi alam ng Smartmatic. Kapag ang purpose nun, para hindi maging fall guy yung teacher. Pagka kunyari, nagkaroon ng investigation, nagkaroon ng dayaan, kung wala yung password na yun, ang mapuputokan yung teacher. So ngayon, pagka may password yun, sasabihin ng teacher, wala akong kinalaman dyan. Sige, magkukulatan tayo ng ebidensya. O sige, doon pa lang gagamitin ng correct me, Mayor. Hindi na tagalog ko yun. Doon pa lang magkakabukingan. So, tingin ko mas maganda mas here. Yung ID talaga ang magsalita ng tulad.
Yung digital signature, ano yan eh?
Pwede may paliwanag natin.
Sige.
Digital signature.
Hindi ordinaryong digital signature ito. Ayon nga doon sa industriya, meron siya kailangan public key infrastructure, meron siyang encryption and decryption. Nangyayari po yan pag meron kang tinatransmit, saka naka-online yung system. Kasi po, ang requirement po sa digital signature, yung mismo merong hawak ng digital signature, malalaman ng public key infrastructure, PKI, parang server po yun, na itong tao ito ay mismo nakarehistro doon sa database. Ngayon, ginawa po ng Smartmatic, nag-issue siya ng sarili niyang digital signature. Kaya nga, hindi seguridad yun. Una, ayon sa kanilang implementing regulation, sa kanilang guidelines, i-on mo yung, pag-on mo ng makina, pag-upisa na bilangan, saka mo siya i-digitalize bago magbilang. Nakalagay sa batas, kailangan pagkabilang mo, at na-print out mo na yung pag-upload, saka mo, and then immediately thereafter, you will electronically transmit and digitalize. Ibig sabihin, gaya sa mano-mano, pag nabilang niya, nakita na lahat ng tao, saka ka pipirma. Ngayon, ayon doon sa Department of ICT, na sila yung mismong namamahala dito sa digital signing, kailangan po meron silang i-authorize na certificate authority. Another agency yun. Okay? Yung certificate authority, siya gagawa ng public key infrastructure, merong private key kung saan nagagaling yung transmission, at yung public key kung saan ipapato yung data. Ngayon, kailangan pag naka-online lang siya, saka lang malalaman mo ng database na yung mismong tao na yun, ay siya yung mismong tao na yun na pumipirma ng digital signature. At para malaman kagad na yung tao na yun, kailangan according to the DICT, implementing of regulation under the Republic Act 8792 e-commerce law, kailangan magbigay yung individual na yun ng kanyang birth certificate, ng kanyang biometrics, ng kanyang fingerprint, para mismo lalabas kaya siya itong taon to at walang iba. Ngayon, ini-issue na Smartmatic, si Smartmatic ang nag-issue na sarili niya. Kahit sino pwede niyang gawin, pwede niyang dayain yun. Kaya nga, doon, ginawa nito ni COMELEC noong 2016, gagawin niya dito sa 2019, kaya ginagamit niya labag sa batas, peke yun. Kaya lang, wala nakakaalam. Hindi alam ito ng marami. Sinasabi na nga namin, mali, sinasabi, nag-comply na kami sa batas. Meron kami dito na signing. Una, bakit ka mag-issue ng digital signature bago ka magbilang at bago mo i-transmit? Ibig sabihin, hindi naka-online yun, naka-offline. Ang ibig sabihin niya, ang binigay na Smartmatic, susi lang ng parang kotse, i-start mo lang.
Pero pwedeng i-maniobra, doon yung doon sa point na yung online, transmit, pwedeng babaguhin. Halimbawa, meron kasing reklamo na si Pedro ay boto mo, pero lumabas si Juan. Bakit si Juan? Ang ibinoto ko si Pedro, bakit?
Nai-intercept nga yun.
Intercept doon sa... Saan doon yung dayaan? Saan papasok?
Bago makarating doon sa pupuntahan, yung sa canvassing, ita-jam. So, sa ibang magagaling yung resulta. Kaya nag-iiba nga yung resulta. Pwedeng mangyari yun. At nangyari na ngayon, kasi makita mo doon sa audit log, kung yung IP address niya ay tama or mali. Okay? Doon nangyayari yun. Kaya nga, itong nakaraang 2016, lalo na sa 2019, lokohan lang ito. Maliwanag yan, lokohan lang ito.
So, nabanggit yung lokohan, itong 2019, kung si Smartmatic pa rin, lokohan pa rin sa tingin niyo?
Oo, kasi peke nga yung digital signature na ini-issue ng Smartmatic eh. In other words, siya may control. Number one, ang Smartmatic, hindi siya certified authority. Hindi siya ni-registered ng DICT, wala siyang public key infrastructure, at saka pag yung kanyang digital signature, hindi siya totoo. Kasi, alam mo yung sa mga bagong kotse ngayon, di ba kailangan yung fingerprint mo? Alam mo yung mga bagong BMW? Yun ang parang digital signature. Kasi alam niya na...
Yung iba, boses lang. Boses mo naman.
Yun, biometrics yun, yung boses mo. Pero ngayon, ibinibigay lang ng Smartmatic, yung lumang klaseng susi ng kotse, na kahit sino pwede mawak ng susi, pwede niya i-start.
So ibig sabihin, alam ng mga kasalukuyan ngayon, no, mga mambabatas at yung ano, ibig sabihin, sino makikinabang dito? Attorney, sa tingin, kung ayaw niya, alam nilang mali, alam nila na Smartmatic matagal na,
Correction, hindi lang alam na mali.
hindi nila alam, kaya akala nila
Tama.
Ay, hindi, ipaalam natin na mali.
Yun na nga eh. Yun na nga, kaya nire-reklamo nga eh. Hindi nga alam eh. Noong 2016 nakalusot. Itong 2019, habang wala mo itong petition, makakalusot ulit.
Kaya ito nabasa niyo to. Ito yung motto ng mata sa balota. It is better to light the candle than curse the darkness, because evil prevails when good men do nothing. Nangyayari ito kasi walang nagre-reklamo. So, kung meron nagre-reklamo, nandun sila sa harap ng media, daldal doon, that is not the process of law.
So, ibig sabihin,
is you have to write a formal complaint and file the case.
So, ibig yung sabihin, sir, talagang hindi alam talaga nitong kasalukuyan o alam nila, ayaw lang nilang gawin dahil sila ang nakikinabang. Saan doon ng ano? Alam nila, ayaw nilang ituwid dahil sila makikinabang o talagang hindi nila alam. Saan doon?
Alam nila. Kasi alam nila
Alam nila pero hindi nila itinuwid dahil sila makikinabang.
Oo, kasi doon sa JCOP hearing, inamin na nga ito ng Department of Science Technology ngayon, Department of ICT, na meron na silang gano'n infrastructure. At alam nila na pwede sila mag-issue ng digital signature sa COMELEC. DICT ito, another department. Pero hindi sinundan ng COMELEC yun. Ang DICT, by the way, is the chairman of the advisory council ng COMELEC. Yet, in spite of that facility, hindi in-honor ng COMELEC yung digital signature na nasilalim na nga ng DICT. Yes, alam niyo ni Dr. Nelson.
Yeah, if I may add, noong 2003, dapat i-automate natin yung 2004. Yung sinasabi ni Professor Casino, merong public key infrastructure which is facilitated by MySecure's EPLDT. So meron. Tapos nung 2013 at saka nung 2016, sinasabi ng DOST, pwede kami mag-provide sa inyo ng 300,000 digital certificates para sa Board of Election Inspector at sa Board of Canvassers. Yan, pinag-uusapan namin yan sa Joint Congressional Oversight Committee. Pero nagtataka kami, inaalok na sa kanila, sa COMELEC, ayaw pa rin. Pero, mind you, alam ng COMELEC yung digital signatures. Magmula pa yan ng 2003.
So there you have it, no? So ito po, ang petition na i-file natin bukas at 11 o'clock sa Supreme Court dahil today, hindi sarado sila because of the earthquake, no? We will email everything to you, no? Ito po yung forum natin, tuloy-tuloy ito every Tuesday hanggang sa election and even after the election to provide a window for everybody to know you. Yes.
Sir, last question. Sir, attorney, how optimistic we are na kakatigan o karamihan ng doon sa petition nyo, yung laman ng petition 44 pages na isasampa nyo bukas sa Supreme Court?
50-50 yan eh. Bilog ang bola, anything can happen eh. Pero optimistic ako na kung hindi kinagat ng Supreme Court yan, ngayon, before election, at naging magulo ang election, pwedeng gamitin ang petition na yan as a basis for
Failure.
Well, before going that, tatagdagan ko kay Atty. Melchor, we're not towards that. Kami, lahat tayo sa mata sa balota, we are very, very sincere in our belief na the men behind the leadership of the Supreme Court, starting with Chief Justice Benjamin, napaka-righteous na mga tao ito. And mga justices natin sa Supreme Court, hindi lang po righteous yan, they're also patriotic and nationalistic. Mahal din nila yung bayan natin. And once we present to them our case, we are very hopeful and we are very confident that yung righteousness nila will prevail. That's the reason why we are going towards the Supreme Court, because we trust
the heart of the Supreme Court to protect the interests of the Filipino people. But anyway, kung ano man ang mangyari yan, hindi natin alam. Kaya sinasabi ni Atty. Mel, 50-50 yan. There are three branches of government. The judicial, the legislative, and the executive. Lahat po itong branches ng gobyerno ito, lalapitan po natin. Bukas, officially, lalapitan natin yung judicial branch to the Supreme Court. We are now engaged with the legislative because we are basically attending the JCOP, the Joint Congressional Oversight Committee, dyan sa Senado. By the way, yung JCOP, Professor Nelson, correct me if I'm wrong, ang JCOP came about because of the privileged speech of the Senate President Tito Soto. That was a year ago, or 2018?
Yeah, March of 2018.
March of 2018, nagkaroon ng privilege speech si Senator Soto na sinabi niya na meron siyang ebidensya that before the May 9, 2016 election, nagkakaroon na ng transmission. In other words, ang election May 9, 2016, May 8 pa lang, may mga transmission of results or whatever na nangyari. So he made that privilege speech in 2018. That's why the Joint Congressional Oversight Committee or JCO was convened. No? And we are there supporting that. No? And the third and final option natin sa branches of government is the executive branch, headed by the President. So, kung may nakita tayo ng problema, ito ang sigurado. Lalapitan namin yung Presidente natin. And isusumbong po namin yung mga nakita namin na mga ebidensya admissible in court. No, yun lang. This President is so unique. Pero I assure you, unique itong Presidente in a way that this President is very nationalistic and patriotic. And this President, we believe, will die for this country.
30 seconds daw. Kami naman sa National Press Club, in behalf of the National Press Club, we'd like to thank Mata sa Balota for inviting us na maging bahagi ito na pagagandang advokasya na ito. Nalala ko yung lagi sinisigaw ng mga kabataan ng mga araw. Kung hindi tayo, sino? At kung hindi ngayon, kailan? Yan ang Mata sa Balota.
Yes.
Ang daming mga regularidad na nakaraan na wala naman nangyayari. So ito na yun yung Mata sa Balota. At kami sa media, specifically sa National Press Club, kasi nagpapasalamat kami sa inyo because you have invited us to be part of this worthy endeavor. So, maraming sigurado sabi na, ano yan, suntok sa buwan yan. Sabihin ninyo, kasi bumabalik tayo sa integridad ng mga makina na yan nung araw pa, na kinukustyon, hanggang ngayon. Di ba? At ginagamit pa rin natin. We go back to basics. Di ba? Ang integridad ng, ang tawag natin PICOS. O focus PICOS. Ang tawag natin yun BCM, Voters Counting Machine. So kami naman sa Press Club ay open na tubuno sa inyo, sa ating lahat, para malinis ang dapat na malinis at napakalaking karangalan na kami ay nangyayari na makasama ninyo dito sa napakagandang endeavor na ito. At least, kung may mangyayari dito, magiging bahagi tayo ng kasaysayan. Ito si Bishop labo nito Ang sinasabi, hindi mo yung kasabihan, it's better to have loved and failed than never to have loved at all.
Tama.
Kaya mabuhay ang Mata sa Balota.
Mabuhay ang National Press Club.
Kaya nga po, maging ang Manila Senior Press Club ay representing Manila Senior Press Club ay nakikisama sa Mata ng Balota sapagkat ang Mata ng Balota ng asimula natin ay pwede ka siyang magsisimula ng magandang bukas ng lahat ng butante ng bansa.
Maraming salamat. So anyway, medyo malapit na yung before we ask our resource speaker for their final word, let me once again plug this group. Ito po yung banda na mga high school, ito mga estudyante po. Dinapitan ito ng Mata sa Balota, we told them about the advocacy. Ang ginawa nito mga high school students na to is to write a song about the election. Write and perform it.
Ngayon, ang title ng kanta na sinulat nila, Mata sa Balota, Wag sa Pera. So, ito po, i-adapt na po ito ng movement, Mata sa Balota movement, and we're going to go around the country. Magkakaroon kami ng campus tour, magkakaroon kami ng barangay tour. We will have a caravan, a musical caravan, a free musical caravan. And ilalatag namin itong advokasya at saka ipapaalam natin sa mga kababayan natin in the next 2 weeks, no? Before the election, masyadong maiksi na yung panahon, but araw-araw, ang Mata sa Balota movement, no, together with our various partners, marami pong organization na sumusuporta sa advokasya na narinig nyo na kanina yung National Press Club coming in already, no? So, we will now do the information campaign. And ang target namin basically are the millennials aside from the rest of the Filipino people, the millennials, because what we're trying to deliver na message sa millennial is, you have to take charge. We are fighting for you. We are fighting for your future, yung mga millennials. No? So we are asking everybody to support this advocacy. Ang sabi kanina ng presidente ng National Press Club, si Rolando kay Gonzalo, sabi niya, ang mga chismis suntok sa pwede ginagawa niya, wala. So sabi namin, mas mabuti na lang na susuntok tayo sa buwan. But let us make sure na pagsuntok natin sa buwan, yung merong laman, yung sigurado may tama. So, let me introduce to you the members of the email ban. Sulat at saka electronic. Sulat-tronico, that is the actual meaning of email in Tagalog. So the high school kids that were saying, they call their band, their name Sulat-tronico or email band. The vocalist is Sunday. We have the bassist, we have Kaloy, we have Lance, the lead guitar, we have Simon, our drums, no? We are going to come up with a musical TV within the week. And ilalabas namin yan. Ibibigay namin yung kanta. Ang bandang ito, in-offer itong kinompose nila sa buong bayan for free. We don't sell this song. Ginawa ng mga bata ito ng banda straight from the heart because they want to be part of the advocacy of making sure that the real color, the real heart of our voters will be manifested this coming May 13, 2019. So, the Sulat-tronico or email band with their song, Mata sa Balota, Wag sa Pera.
Na naman tayo
only for the email plan. Maraming salamat and we would like to see you next Tuesday on the Batas sa Balota 2019 regular media forum. Pero tomorrow at 11 o'clock, nandun po kami sa Supreme Court and makikita nyo kami, buksan nyo lang yung tenga nyo because kami yung pinakamaingay na grupo bukas doon sa Supreme Court at 11 o'clock. So we will officially file this petition for Mandamus asking the Supreme Court to order COMELEC and Smartmatic to implement to the letter all the provision of the automated election system law, no, na dapat ginawa na. So we have identified 30 plus points of the election law na hindi pinatupad ng COMELEC and Smartmatic. And most of these provisions has something to do with the safety nets. Safety nets para ang election natin magiging malinis and credible. So everybody, maraming salamat. We will see you either tomorrow at 11 o'clock sa Supreme Court and dito ulit sa Roma Salon at 9 o'clock next Tuesday. Maraming salamat.
Jim Jimenez.